All right, today we're going to break down a really powerful story about what it actually takes to hit a huge goal. You've probably heard it before, and there's a reason for that. Its message is just so simple, so raw, and honestly, unforgettable. It's especially powerful if you're just starting your career, trying to figure out exactly what you're willing to do to get where you want to go. So let's just cut right to the chase with the main question. Look, it's easy for any of us to say, I want to be successful or I want a great career. But this story makes you ask yourself on a whole different level, how bad do you really want it? So the story kicks off with two main people. First, you've got this young guy, right? He's full of ambition. He wants to make a name for himself, make a lot of money. And then you have the guru, a man who's already done it. He's at the top of his game, exactly where the young man wants to be. So the young man goes up to the guru and he's super direct about his goal. He says, I want to be on the same level you on. He's not just asking for a few tips, you know? He wants the whole secret sauce, the entire blueprint for success. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The guru doesn't give him a lecture or a book to read. He just says, meet me tomorrow at the beach, 4 a.m. That's it. A simple, kind of weird instruction. And the young guy, he's so ready to go, he actually shows up in a suit, not having any idea that the real test has already started. So picture this. It's 4 in the morning, still dark, and they're at the beach. The guru just grabs the young man's hand and starts walking right into the ocean. This is definitely not the kind of mentoring session this guy was expecting. And as they're wading out into the freezing water, the guru asks him again, how bad do you want to be successful? The young man, trying to play it cool, says, real bad. But the guru, he just keeps walking, pulling him deeper and deeper into the ocean. And we're not talking ankle deep here. The water goes from his waist up to his chest and then all the way up to his mouth. Things have gone from just being strange to being genuinely kind of scary. I mean, can you imagine what's going through the kid's head? He's probably thinking, this dude is completely nuts. I came here to learn how to be rich, and he's got me out here swimming in my suit. He's confused, he's cold, and he is just about ready to head back to shore. But just as he's about to turn around, the guru stops. And this is the moment where the lesson goes from being a weird walk on the beach to something physical, terrifying, and in the end, life-changing. With absolutely no warning, the guru grabs the young man's head and shoves it underwater, just holds him there. And in that instant, I guarantee you, making money was the absolute last thing on his mind. He's panicking. He's thrashing, scratching, fighting with everything he has just to get back up to the surface. In that moment of pure survival, nothing else matters. Not his career, not the money, not the guru. The one and only thing he wants in the entire universe is to breathe. Just as the young man is about to black out, the guru yanks him back up. He's gasping, coughing, taking in huge gulps of air. And in that moment of pure shock and relief, the guru finally tells him the secret he came for. He looks him in the eye and says, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. That's it. That is the entire lesson. Your desire for your goal has to be as fundamental, as desperate, as essential as your need for air. So what this really boils down to is this idea of total focus. The source material compares it to having an asthma attack. Think about it. When you can't breathe, are you worried about the game on TV or who's calling your phone? No way. Your entire being is consumed by one single mission, getting air. Success, the story argues, demands that same kind of laser focus. Okay, so that's a great story. But what does it actually look like in the real world, right? Because this mindset isn't just some abstract idea. It translates into real, tangible sacrifices, especially when you're trying to build something from nothing. See, there's a massive difference between kinda wanting it and wanting it like you want air. Most people kinda want success. They want it, sure, but they also want to party on the weekend. They want it, but they also want to look cool and not miss out on anything. When you want it like air, you're willing to do the things other people just aren't. And this is the part that's tough to hear. The required sacrifices are not small things. We're talking about giving up social events, giving up sleep. The source material even argues that if you're sleeping, you might just miss that one opportunity that could change everything for you. It's an extreme mindset, no doubt about it. And listen, this isn't just a parable. The source points to real-world examples. Apparently, Beyoncé was once on a shoot and was so locked in, so focused, that 3 days went by before she even realized she hadn't eaten.
When someone asked 50 Cent when he sleeps, his answer was, sleep is for those people who are broke. Now, these are super intense examples. The point isn't that you have to literally starve yourself or never sleep. The point is about the priority success had in their lives. For them, it was air.
The last piece of this philosophy is all about pushing through the hard times, because the journey is going to be painful. You're going to get knocked down. And the argument here is, since you're already in pain, you might as well get something out of it. Don't go through all that struggle just to quit. Push through and get your reward.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. This whole story is a metaphor, obviously, but it asks a very real question. When you think about your goals, your career, whatever it is you're chasing, what is the one thing you want with that same desperation? What are you willing to fight for as hard as you'd fight for your next breath? What's your air?